Warning, this video contains spoilers for the first couple acts of the comic. I won't say anything in detail about the later acts of the story, so don't worry about that.
Looks like everything's gonna work out fine after all. Holy shit, Dave, I'm gonna eat your baby.
So, I just watched a new Homestuck animated pilot by Spindleroo, and as a fan of the original comic, I have a lot of things to say. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, of course, but I had a good time watching it and rewatching it to catch smaller details that I never noticed before. It worked very well as a proof of concept of what a potential Homestuck series could look like in the future, which some people seem to forget. First of all, I want to congratulate the team for even managing to release it. In this state of the world where the creative industries are suffering and anything animation related is getting harder to release every day, I'm happy that the pilot even came out, so congrats I guess. Before I give my thoughts, I want to clarify more about my level of knowledge regarding Homestuck. I started reading the comic right after the main story ended in 2016 and have been following along the series from that point on. I've read Homestuck 3 times and engaged with the following extra contents like Hive Swap, Paradox Space, Friendzim, Pest Request, the Epilogues, Homestuck Squared, Beyond Canon, and even the Skynet files. Hey, remember that Kurt shit? I was there for a lot of changes to the series too, like the Viz Media takeover and a bunch of really stupid, unnecessary fandom drama. Despite all that, I'm still a really big fan of the comic. I've bought some of the merch in the past, drawn fan art, and have miserably failed at tricking my friends to read it. So when I heard that one of my favorite and personally influential things of all time was getting an animated pilot, I was really genuinely in shock. How in the world do you translate 8,000 pages of Discord conversations into a full series? God, these poor animators and writers, are they actually that dedicated? I know they're like fans, but oh my god, that's just so much content. Okay, but wait, what about the voice actors? I mean, they're surely gonna get some people from the— Is that Toby Radiation Fox?
But how is that possible? I don't know.
Honestly, reading the full cast of people involved in the project for the first time, it terrified me. This is something I've fantasized about all my time during my high school years, and now it might actually be real with industry professionals involved. Is this truly the revival of the Homestuck fandom? Will people actually want to read the comic? Oh, okay, never mind. From what I've seen, the overall reception of the pilot has been pretty mixed. Some people liked it, others hated because Homestuck is cringe and bad, but most people just find it confusing. Which is fair since that's pretty much the universal Homestuck experience despite the medium it's presented in. At best, I've seen some people actively start reading the comic because of the pilot, which makes me very, very happy. Another victim of the hellhole, yippee! But anyway, I think it's time I give my opinions about the Homestuck pilot. Let's start off with the things I really liked. The animation and art direction. The animation is great. I don't think I need to say much about it, honestly. You can see it just by looking at these clips. The characters are expressive, the body language is great, and I absolutely adore how they adapted the pester locks. The mix between split screens, actual computer typing, and little chibi versions appearing it make it so varied that you forget that they're even talking from a distance. Since most of the comic's dialogue is conveyed through chat messages, it's very challenging to adapt it in a visual way, but they absolutely nailed it. I like how the characters actually interact with the world and each other through the pester locks. It's the right level of cartoony without breaking the rules of the universe. The art direction is solid, feels like a good mix between the new and the old Homestuck styles. The Homestuck comic has a variety of styles that is used throughout its run, and the pilot seems to borrow certain aspects of each style to compensate for that. The backgrounds are very well drawn too. I love the details in each kid's rooms. They're almost exactly like their comic counterparts. Even the stuff that's copyrighted is still there, although blurred, but it's still there. You know, that's awesome. Oh god, I haven't even talked about the stripe. I think it's a bit too anime, especially since the original stripe is a lot more simpler. But if the rest of the fights in the comic look this good, then god damn, that would be so hype. Imagine Cascade or Descent animated to the same level as this. Oh god, that would be so peak. The music. Music is one of the most integral parts of the Homestuck comic. Not only were there dozens of musicians who contributed to the Homestuck soundtrack, but it was coordinated enough where characters and environments and even certain events in the comic shared themes and leitmotifs. Without them, the comic feels empty. So when I heard the Showtime thing in the trailer and then again in the pilot, I felt so much relief. The people involved in the pilot care enough to actually reference the music themes in the comic. And accurately too, they didn't just add Showtime, which is John's battle theme and for nostalgia. It takes place at the same part of the actual comic too. I really hope this means we get to hear songs from the Homestuck soundtrack in future episodes or remixes or remasters. The OST is generally iconic, and getting as many people to listen to it is a huge win in my books. As long as the original musicians get properly credited and compensated, having the original themes in the next episode would be incredible. In other words, please get Michael Guy Bauman in, please. Please, we need Suburban Jungle, and Bauman is cool and chill, and we all like him. Please get him involved, pretty please. Also, the original music from the pilot is very good too. Good job, Alexander Arntzen. That song at the end of the pilot and credits was really, really good. Please, I need you to release it on all platforms now. The voice acting. I went into the pilot fearing for my life of what these characters I've loved for years would officially sound like, and honestly, most of them are very solid. Toby Fox reprising his roles as John works unbelievably well. It generally sounds exactly what I've always imagined him sounding like. A big, dumb, goofy nerd. I mean, like, look at this clip and go,
Finally got my beta, guys. With a lot of trouble, thanks for asking.
yeah, that's just straight up John. The others did a fantastic job too. Tremi Lay makes her Rose sound like the snooty, uptight, and verbose girl that she is in the comic.
I just lose all sense of composure when I catch the slightest glimpse of his PFP in my DMs.
And Colleen O'Shaughnessy's Jade sounds exactly as silly as bright as I imagined her.
Hey, John, happy birthday! Did you get my package yet?
Like, that's Rose, that's Jade. And of course, how could I forget?
That's it? One line?
That's just straight up Harkat. What the fuck? How did they get the perfect voice for him? God damn, Brandon Winkler, you killed it with that one line. These voices generally excite me for the possibility of hearing the other characters speak. The idea of living in a world where fucking Vriska and Gamzee have a canon voice terrifies me, but like, in the best way possible. The things from the comic. You can tell the people working on the pilot are fans because the entire thing is riddled with details only a Homestuck fan would notice. John's shitty movie posters, the specific items in his chest, Dave's ironic selfies, and oh god, not that thing. The pilot even takes time to explain the world a bit, like the Silodex and Strife Specibus. Most people reading the comic honestly forget about that stuff, but seeing the narrative actually acknowledge its existence instead of just pushing through is so good to see. It can't be Homestuck without the intricate and contracted world building. Also, my boys WV, Space Slick, and Jack Nor are there briefly, and my Carapacian loving heart has never been more full. Extra point because of that. That being said, this pilot is far from being perfect. There was a lot of stuff I had issues with to the point of being either very confusing or frustrating. Again, I don't want to sound like an internet asshole complaining for the sake of complaining. None of my criticisms should be taken as direct attacks to any of the people involved, whether it be the animators, artists, musicians, voice actors, producers, or directors. I just want to give my opinion on things, and if anyone involved in Spindleroo sees this, I hope that they take this as an opportunity to receive genuine feedback and take some of the stuff into consideration for the future. If the series is greenlit, I mean. So my criticisms are not complaints or attacks. They are purely for the purpose of being constructive. Okay? Got it? Are we all on the same page? Okay, let's start off with the biggest issue. This guy.
John, happy birthday, bro!
Who the fuck is that? That's not Dave. Who is that? Where's his stoic persona? Where's his poorly hidden trauma? What's this fucker so happy about? This is like a version of Dave who didn't grow up traumatized by his older brother like in the comic. Obviously, Dave doesn't have an actual canon voice, but I have a feeling most of us envision him with a sort of monotone, mumbly voice, like someone who talks to themselves a lot. His character fits that sort of nonchalant, rambly, sort of speaking more like a cool guy persona that he puts on the pilot. Obviously, Dave is still a cool guy in the comic, but he's never this open and charismatic about it. This isn't to say that the voice acting is bad, by the way. Adam McArthur is a great VA, and I just think the voice direction should have been a bit different. I have no issues with the voice itself, it's just that the delivery is not at all what Dave sounds like. I hope that maybe if the series gets greenlit, they should take into consideration more about Dave's actual character rather than what he wants others to perceive him as. In other words, just make him sadder. Bad pacing. I know this has definitely been brought up, but I should probably add to it. The pacing is absolutely bonkers. It's too fast that it reminds me of watching a Mr. Beast video. I can't even imagine what people who aren't familiar with Homestuck were thinking with how fast this pilot is. Who are these kids? What's going on? Does this run on video game logic? Why is this boy so angry at his dad baking cakes for his birthday? It just doesn't leave much time to just breathe. I understand that this is a pilot and not episode 1, so I can kind of excuse it. It's a proof of concept of what a potential series could look like. So of course they had to speed through the main characters' introductions and the concepts so people can understand what the vibe of the show is. It's still a bit too distracting and makes me wish the pilot was 20 minutes long instead. I hope that the episodes in the series have better pacing to make sure the audience gets to breathe and be immersed in the world instead of, watching a Sburb any percent speedrun. The tone is weird. I don't know what to say here honestly, other than I feel like the narration is a bit too jokey. Like obviously Homestuck is its best a comedy, but there are certain moments of solitude as well. The first one being the No Desolation Place speech right after the title drop.
The streets are empty. Wind skims the voids keeping neighbors apart, as if grazing the hollow of a cut reed or, say, a plundered mailbox.
It's the first moment in the comic that really drives in that somber feeling John feels as a character, along with showing that the comic is not just all laughs. There will be moments of sadness, of bigger things to come, one that the characters may not be prepared for. And then the cool speech was interrupted in the pilot and it made me so sad. Please don't treat everything like a joke. Homestuck can be solemn too. It's all about the ambience after all. In conclusion, TLDR, I had a good time watching and I wouldn't mind just getting a green light for a full series, if they fix a couple of the things I mentioned of course. I like the animation and most of the voices, and I'm glad others agree as well. I'm happy knowing that it at least got more people to start reading the comic. I just hope that this means that there will be more cool Homestuck content in the future, and maybe, just maybe, clear that awful reputation the community has. Homestuck can be cool too. We just need to see others realize it. Anyway, 15 more years of Risk Course, let's go!